Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jack or Jackawala, and today is a long video again. I'm very sorry if you don't want to watch it, but here we go. And I'm taking on my shell challenge. Now, a few quick notes before we actually go any further. I forgot that I had rules about packs, so I don't follow those rules completely, but I do really try. Other than that, basically that's the only rule I broke, but I have made it into I can't remember how many bedrooms this is, but it's a big house, maybe like 3 or 4 bedroom, maybe four bedrooms, and I actually build a guest house and a garage, and a lot of landscaping goes into this one. So yeah. That's basically the only disclaimer, is that obviously it is a challenge. I wouldn't judge this, I haven't judged this with the rest of the houses because it's not exactly fair. I'm not going to do a massive tour like I've done for the other ones, because it's not fair, because obviously it's my challenge. I shouldn't be taking part, but I want to give it a go. I want to see how it get on. I am going to be attempting this challenge again, but this time I'm going to do it with actual rules, like follow my rules, basically do the packs. I don't think I broke many rules in this. Like, there's only be like a few items that I've actually used that aren't actually part of the challenge, so we'll see how we get on. But I would give you guys a life update as well, but like nothing's really happened. Like, what can I think of? I've been to work a couple of times for delivery shifts. I've got another one on tomorrow, yeah. And that's it. Like, I haven't started work yet. I don't really want to go back, I'm perfectly honest with you. I'd much rather stay here and do this for you guys every day. But it's okay, it'll be alright. Maybe one day this will be full time. You never know, do you? But yeah, not done much. Just been making a couple TikToks here and there. If you don't follow me on TikTok, link is on, I think it's on my Twitter. I have to add it to this as well. I don't make anything serious on there. It's literally just kind of generic, going with the flow. Whatever's trending, I kind of have a little go at, sort of thing. No, not any TikTok dances. You can catch me dancing. In a club you will, but not on TikTok, I'm afraid. But yeah, other than that, what else have I done? Wash machine's fixed. That's good. So I've actually got a lot of clean clothes. Yep, that's it. There's nothing else. My life is pretty boring at the moment, but it's all good fun at the end of the day, isn't it? All good fun. But anyway, the inspiration behind this house. So this house is going to be modern-esque, but it uses a lot of the Snowy Escape pack, I think. So those windows, for example, are the Snowy Escape ones. They're just kind of like shortened versions of the tall, wide windows. I really like them. I think they kind of, if you don't want to have the whole wall window, they kind of give you that nice in between. And I've used a lot of the columns and the black like roof trims, and I can't remember what they're called, but like the ceiling divider things. But I've used a lot of them to kind of give this, break it up a bit, kind of give it a bit more dimension. Make it feel a bit more, I don't know, just like structured, well put together. I've kind of gone with the grey blue theme on the outside. I thought that's really cute. I like that. It's kind of my favourite colour scheme to go with. That or dark green usually. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to put some ivy on this, make it look very homely. I popped a window behind that grate. I don't really know if I like that at all, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but I kept it because I was like, you know what, it adds character to this house. And I put this little awning on the front as well, which I thought that's a nice little addition. Kind of gives you that shelter, like when you, like if it's raining and you stay outside and like, oh, it's raining, put my umbrella up and things like that. At the top there is a balcony, and that does end up being the master bedroom. And then down here, I really wanted a fireplace, and it just didn't fit anywhere in this house, and I still put one in regardless. I do build a chimney on the side. I always do this. I do it in quite a lot of shell challenges. I add a chimney on, and I don't know if I'm actually allowed to do it, but I do it anyway, because I think a chimney adds a lot to a house, especially when it's big. It kind of gives you that kind of That's just something a little bit extra that you need. And I've never really used those plant pots for the windows, but this time I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go. I really like it. And I've used that little mailbox because I like that one more than the standing mailboxes. Because if you live in England, you don't really see many standing mailboxes like anywhere. Like it is most of the time we do just have like a letterbox on our front door. Like the mail goes through the letterbox in the door, and it's on the front, like you know, on the floor. I don't know if that's a common thing in America. Maybe in like cities it might be, but I know obviously it's an American game, so I'm guessing that's where it takes inspiration from. But either way, it's quite a. I just like that letterbox. I kind of wish we had more of them, or they came into the game sooner. I would have liked them sooner. But this is the guest house. So there's the guest house. Next door to it's the garage, and then the other side of the garden, I'm doing like a greenhouse. I think greenhouse shed. I can't remember what it ends up being. But it's either a greenhouse or a shed. Probably a greenhouse. And then this garage sort of has like a little sort of side awning, I guess you could call it. I don't really know why I did it. I don't know if it actually works in the end. It doesn't work for the car. You can't put the car in. You think half of it's in the front garden, half is in the back garden. But what I've done is I've used this the cat and dog store to be a door for a garage. I thought, you know what, that's actually quite a smart idea. I actually really like that. So I thought, you know what, this makes it kind of a bit more interesting because obviously I didn't want to use any custom content. There aren't garage doors actually in the game, and I was like, you know what, I like this. It's kind of, if you scale it up with the keys, I am using obviously move objects on, it kind of gives you that really nice, it just looks like a garage door basically. That's all I can say without making it too obvious. But this is the first build I did where I really experimented with the landscaping at the front of the house with a lot of rocks. I was trying to see if there were actually any other rocks in the game apart from the ones that you have in the build mode, but it does turn out that you are kind of stuck with them. So a lot of this is going to be me building a rock path. So if you're interested in like how this works, absolutely watch this bit. If you're not, just skip forward. But I think it's quite a cool way to do it. It's I see a lot of people do this and I was just like, oh, I can't bother. That's a lot of effort, and it is a lot of effort. But the results are really, really nice because it looks really, really nice, much more professional. You don't have to put those hideous fences everywhere if you want to make a nice front garden, or just kind of rely on what's that. I put a lot of white flowers. I love them. And those trees, I think they're my favorite trees in the game. They're just so nice. They're tall, they're thin, they kind of just cover everything up and it looks really nice. I don't know, I just really like them. I want more trees like that in the game, and more like trees that kind of fit in a garden. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the trees we get, they're too big, and even when you scale them down, they're too small. I kind of want more tall, thinner trees that kind of a bit bushier, or like a tall, thin tree and then just like kind of round on top, just something like that. It's quite interesting. But you can see I've kind of put the front garden on that side together, and I think it really worked. And I think that's kind of what inspired me for the rest of the house, because I was just making that up as I go along. I was kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. It's a bit weird, it's a bit interesting, and I was like, you know what, we're just going to make this really, really cool. I think really, really interesting. I think I end up putting a fountain around the other side of the front of the house. But yeah, I just really like it. I just think it's a very clever thing to do this, because obviously I never really used to do it, and obviously to me it's quite new building it, so I'm going to probably end up doing this in a lot of my builds. But I do think it looks nicer. I genuinely think it looks a lot nicer, and it makes me happy. That even now, like, I've been playing The Sims since I had a computer. So I had The Sims 1, so that must have been, what, 20 years ago now. 20 years ago. That's a long time. But I mean, it's such a good game. I just love The Sims. I mean, yeah, it has its flaws, it has its faults. There's a lot of things I'd like to change, but for the most part, it's really good. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. I could play The Sims all day long, forever and ever. if someone told me that I had to build for a living, I'd build for a living. Like, I just wouldn't do gameplay for a living. I love gameplay, but I'm not very good at it. Don't really know what I'm doing. And there I stacked those two fountains on top of each other. I was like, you know what? That's quite a cute idea. I don't normally do stuff like that, but I was just like, I want something a bit taller, a bit thinner. There's so many things in The Sims I wish I had. Like, there's so many things, there's so many situations where I'm like, I need this. Like, especially with bushes. Like, I end up using those bushes all the time, those big round ones, and like the purple ones, because they're kind of the only ones that really feel like they fill up the space but don't take up too much space, or they're not, they're not too small, they're not too big, they're just perfect. And I think that's what we're lacking a lot of in The Sims. We're lacking a lot of bushes that fit well. Okay, so I think that is the front porch done. So I'm just going around popping a few windows on, kind of making sure I've filled up all the gaps and got rid of all the extra rocks I accidentally placed. I didn't really do too much on this side because I was like, there's no real point, because this is like kind of the weird side of the lot. I was like, it's kind of okay just to have the hedge there, and I really like that. And now I'm going in to figure out the floor plan. Now, for those of you who actually took part in the challenge, you know that this floor plan was really, really odd and just didn't really work. You had to kind of, I'm guessing you guys fiddled as well, as much as I did. This is definitely not how it ends up, by the way. I wanted it to, but then I didn't like the downstairs. I just didn't like it. And then I wanted the stairs at that side of the room for that big room, and then I was like, well, the bottom stairs now, the hallway is massive and I don't have enough room for lots of rooms. It just didn't work. So you'll see, I look down here and I'm thinking, I take a while, I really think, and I get rid of it all and I start again downstairs. And I think, you know what, if I have it on the side, kind of make this weird staircase, like it looks like it's in the sort of conservatory area, but it's actually not, and it takes you up to the rest of the house, and all of a sudden it gave me so much more room and I really liked it. It just worked, and I think that was the whole thing. It just worked. So that is the floor plan now. I think it stays like this. I might build one more room here, and I think that ends up being the laundry room. And downstairs you have a kitchen, a laundry room, a downstairs bathroom, a big living room, dining room, conservatory, reading nook, everything. There's a lot down here, but it looks nice. And then upstairs, I think you do get 3 bedrooms on that floor, and then what the master bedroom is on top floor. You just don't get a bathroom with the master bedroom, which is a bit strange because normally you do, but I just couldn't fit it in the way that I wanted to fit, obviously within the rules of the challenge. And for this kitchen, I've gone with the snowy escape. I just love the counters. I just think they're really cool. I like the shelf space. I don't fill them up because I'm not about that life. I kind of like the more empty look to it personally, but I say this every time, it's the top counters that we don't have that really bugs me. Like, I want the wall cabinets for this pack, and it really annoys me they don't have them, and I don't want to put shelves constantly everywhere. I mean, I do for this, but I don't want to do it for every build. I want to have those cabinets and make it feel like it's a complete kitchen, because it obviously it does, but do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to use these shelves from Snowy Escape, which match obviously the aesthetic, but they're not the same really. And I've got the blinds on there. I like these little roller blinds. They kind of just fit with everything. And that's what I think. It's like, I know a lot of people say this. We are missing, or we're not that we're missing, but we need more curtains. We need more blinds. Like, because all the ones we got are just, they're just ugly, aren't they? I just don't like them at all. And I really, really struggle matching curtains, and quite often I just don't bother putting them in because I'm just like, you know what, I'd rather have a house without curtains that looks nice than a house with curtains where the curtains clash with whatever I've got. And that's kind of how I looked at this. I was just like, you know what, if I can put curtains I will, but if I'm not going to, I'm not going to. Like, it's not the end of the world, it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen, but I do wish we had them. At the end of the day, it's not that difficult, really, is it? all I want is like a plain white curtain that I can change the swatch so I have a blue curtain or a black curtain. There's just a curtain. Like that's it. That's all I want. But with this build, I do take a little while. That's the reason the video's so long. I'm taking a little while, just kind of finding out what's actually in the game. This kitchen ends up being a little bit mismatched, but then I pop the orange tile from the eco living in, and it all of a sudden brings it all together. I don't know why, but for me it was like, yeah, that's it. It works now. And then like the tiles on the bottom where you got a few little orange tiles. And that's the kitchen. Like it's a nice kitchen. It's a good size. You got everything you need in it. I can still bet you the Sims are going to make about 1,000 items of food and then eat cereal. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but it's getting on my nerves now. It's making me angry that every time I make them make a meal, they go and make the meal, don't bother eating it, and then get leftovers. Not even leftovers, like cereal and yogurt and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This isn't fair. And yeah, I'm sure you can imagine my frustration. I'm sure you guys are having the same problem as well. I've seen a few people on Twitter and stuff say it. I'm not surprised. But yeah. That was the little laundry room, very cute. For laundry rooms, I don't know why, but I'm always drawn to making like brick rooms. Don't know why. I just think like the rustic brick look is really nice, kind of like, it's an unfinished room, and that's kind of what I feel like a laundry room is. It's that room in the house where you don't really want to be in there. You can't be bothered to do it up because no one else is going in there apart from like, you know, whoever's doing the washing at the time. You'd rather put your effort into like the rest of the house, and that's what I've done. Like this bathroom I really like. I like this rug because it brings through the wall into the floor, or the floor into the wall, and it kind of ties everything together with the kind of the gold, like bronzy accent that's got going on. I just love it. Like the shower handle door, and it just brings it through from the floor to the wall, and yeah, it's really nice. So that's where the downstairs bathroom is. That is just off the living room. So this is a really awkward space. I didn't know whether I was going to fence off this living area or not, but I ended up giving it a big and open plan, using that TV, and this is like probably like one of my favourite sofas, because you can pretend to make it a sectional sofa like I've done. Like it kind of slots together quite nicely, and I really like that. I just think it's really nice. And I try a lot of the tiny living stuff in here as well, because I just love the colour swatches. Like this table can also come in blue colour, like a light blue, and it's so nice. But I thought to myself, I'm going with quite a warm orange toned house at the moment, and I don't normally use all the orange colours, but I think for this it's just so nice. It just works so well because it's so big and open, it's warm, it's friendly. And like even the artwork I've made to be quite warm and friendly as well. Like I've chosen like kind of more abstract and modern ones. Like I know I've used green on these paintings, which kind of you wouldn't put with orange, but because I've got like the green of the plants around and the bushes outside, I was like, you know what, it kind of works actually. And then again, orange flooring, and I don't know, some of you might absolutely hate it, but I really like it because I personally don't like to build like all the beige and white. That's not about me. There's like, to me, that's like, I don't know about what everyone else thinks, but it's quite an American thing to have like a beige and white cream coloured house. Like it's very like American country home. In England, that's not really what we do. Like we do use white, but I don't really know how to describe it. I think in England, a lot of people like more industrial or glossy finish. I'm guessing, that's just what I've experienced. But I like black and white. I like modern. I like warm tones, but I also like deep green. So ideally, I have to build it one day. It would be an industrial house, like a new build modern house with a really industrial inside, with accents of like deep greens and blues and golds. I think that's a little bit of me. I might have to design that one time. maybe you might use CC, but I think, you know, that's what I like. And that little porch, what I've done there is I've just popped like some tile bricks. So the idea is, obviously, if you come in with muddy feet, you can just leave your shoes on the tiles and it won't get all over the lovely wooden floor and the fluffy rug and all that. But I really like the living room area. I think it's really nice. I've got a lot of tables and a lot of surfaces, bookshelves, a lot of comfort stuff, and I just really like it. And then I've got that dining table there with those dining chairs. I like them. I just love it. I'm just obsessed with orange for this build. I couldn't even tell you why. But I kept the walls white. If I have white walls, it's going to kind of tone it down, going to kind of bring it all together, and it's going to be really, really nice. And I really wanted to use this shelving unit, and I could not work out where to put it. So I ended up shrinking it and popping it under the stairs. And I was like, you know what? It actually really works here. I really like this. I didn't place it to the stairs, so it will be interesting to see if that works. And I put a little plant on a little stool there. But this ends up being the reading nook. From like the fireplace around to this bit. It's kind of a bit of an odd shape, but I do think it works in the end. Like, it's not like a reading nook because I don't put a big bookshelf there. The bookshelf is like the other side of the room. But it works. In my head it works. In my head it all makes sense. But that is the downstairs. So you've got your dining room in the conservatory with like the reading nook in the conservatory. And I think it was really, it just really worked. I don't know. I just liked it. I just really, really liked it. And then for this bedroom, this in my head was like the grandparents' bedroom. So if your grandparents are living here, this is the one where I've kind of gone the beige and the cream. This is what I associate it with. I'm really sorry, guys, if you love it. If you love this style, I'm really sorry. But it's just what I associate it with, is like beige and creams is very old to me. It's kind of old fashioned. It's okay. It's just not a bit of me. It's a bit of someone else, I'm sure, but for me, I can't. It's nice, but it feels old. I remember, like, it's kind of like late 2000s, mid 2000s, because I remember in my house at the time when I was in with my family, a lot of the furniture was the same colour as that dresser and the same style as that dresser. So that's kind of what I associate it with, and that's why I don't particularly like it too much. But if you like it, I'm not saying don't like it, I'm just saying personal taste. I'd rather go for more modern style. But I still like this room. I wouldn't build it if I didn't like it. But yeah, I do like it, but I don't like it, if that makes sense. I did build this before bunk beds came out, guys, so I'm not any bunk beds in this build. I am just not uploading this video for a long time, basically. So in this one, this is the kids' room. Orange again is the theme in here, with navy blue little bits in here and there. I gave him a little sectional sofa style thing with a TV. Oh no, I got rid of the blue. I was originally going to blue and then I stuck with orange. Maybe gone a bit overkill with the orange. I maybe didn't know where to stop, but I do like where it ended up. I even make the rug orange, for God's sake. Like, I literally couldn't stop myself. I was like, I am loving every bit of the orange at the moment. And whilst I'm on this wave, I'm just going to ride it. But then I kind of toned it down with the floor and the wall to you've got to find a good balance. So if you go with, like, unless you're doing the colour build, you kind of want to tone things down if you're using a lot of colour, or if you're using a lot of colour on the wall, sometimes maybe tone down the furniture. Kind of experiment and work out what's best. I think is always the best way to look at it. I think that's the best way to go about it. And I built another kid's bedroom here, but I think this one ends up being more of the teenager room. I mean, kind of in between, like maybe a childish teenager, maybe. It does end up being white again, as like it's quite neutral white colour, so it doesn't really apply to anyone. It's not too colourful, it's got to be a kid. It's not too grown up, it's got to be a teenager or an adult. But I think the lots of posters that I put in kind of insinuate that it is going to be a room for a teenager, which is nice. I like it, don't get me wrong, I really like it. I just don't think it's my favourite room in the house, this one. I think I just leave it like that. Sometimes I get out a room and I'm just like, don't even want to do it. I'm not even enjoying it, and that always happens to me with teenager bedrooms, because I find it so awkward because teenagers can do everything an adult can do, but they're not an adult. And when I was a teenager, I didn't really decorate my room like a normal teenager would, so I don't really have that experience, if you want to put it that way. But this is like the family shared bathroom. I mean, there is two, they're kind of very close to each other, but this is kind of the one that the kids would use, maybe the grandparents would use. This one is where I would is technically is the ensuite for the master suite upstairs, which is a really, I guess, is a really strange idea, but I don't even know how to explain it. It's just because it's down the bottom of the stairs and it's closest one to the parents' bedroom, and it's kind of that modern, really chic vibe to it. The nice stone tiles, and yeah, I guess that's it. Like, I just don't really know what to say about that bathroom. I just always say I keep them in because I like to see what people think of my bathrooms, and I like to see other people's bathrooms. So I get really annoyed when people cut it out. But this is just a kind of general seating area on the landing. I was like, obviously it's not a room, so you can't really do much with it. So I thought if it's a nice seating area, at least people can sort of entertain guests there, I guess. If you want something more quiet, cozy and private, then sit in the living room. It's just an extra space. So up here, this is the master bedroom. So this would be where the parents live, the house owners. They got the balcony. It's a very big room. Again, I go with warm tones, less orange, more brown though, so kind of more of a reddish colour, you could say. Again, it's not nothing too special, it's just a nice room. I hate that painting, but I'm using it. I thought, you know what, sometimes it's okay to use things you hate, so that's what I've done. Nice rug on the middle of the floor. Again, I think that was a very quick room for me to build. I just kind of knew what I wanted and what I was doing with that room. But in there I put a little dresser, a little bit of storage for upstairs. I think that's always a nice idea to do. And then I flip over and we're now at the guest house. So this one is really, try something a little bit different basically. I put a platform on, and so I've got a really itchy nose and I don't know why, it's just started. But this is pop a little platform on for the double bed. And I don't understand why these are tables and not chairs, like, but either way I'll use them as tables, little bedside tables. They get a big ensuite bathroom, which I think is a really nice idea for a guest house. Like, I don't know, but for me, if I stay in a hotel and the bathroom's really big, I'm always like, wow, this is amazing. So that was kind of the vibe I went for this. I was like, you know what, I want to make it really big for people, I want to make it really nice. I want to make it so if you were staying over at these people's house, but you had somewhere really nice to stay. That's kind of the vibe I'm going with. They get their own little kitchen, their own little living area. They get everything. I think it's just a really sweet, smart idea. It's not something that I normally do in a house. Like, I don't really think about this. But I thought, whilst I got all this extra land, and I think I saw someone, I can't remember who, it was on someone's YouTube channel, and I saw them touring something, and it was like, they had like a guest house and like a garage and everything. I was like, you know what, that's a really smart idea, and then this was the perfect house to be able to tie it all into. I thought so, you know, and then I kept it. But that is the guest house on the inside. I put some extra windows in, some plant pots. Put them out there, and then I kind of use the garage for a bit of storage, and I do use a debug car in here as well. I do get it off the gallery because I couldn't be bothered to go through all the debug stuff and actually find a car. And I also put some snowboards up on like these little shelves. I thought that's a really neat idea. I think, like, I don't normally do that. I've never done that, but I thought, you know what, this is actually a really cute idea. Like, what if they like to go snowboarding every now and again? They've got their own snowboards. I don't know if that works. So yeah, there's the car that I got from the debug. I just got it off the gallery because, like I said, I couldn't bother to find it myself. But it is just debug, so that's how you get that car, if you are wondering. This ends up being the greenhouse. I do this a lot with some buildings. If I don't want a glass roof all the way along, I kind of section it off so it looks seamless, but it's actually like 3 bits of roof. And then yeah, so I popped some only little pots. I don't do the big planters in here. I was like, I can't really fit them in without making the greenhouse abnormally large. And then I like this. So this is kind of like a very much an afterthought. I didn't really think about this. And I was like, I actually kind of want a pool in the house. But how can I make this look cool and not take up too much room? So obviously this bit of the garden was kind of an awkward space because I didn't really have any room to put, like, I don't know, anything really. I just didn't like it. So what I ended up doing is I ended up raising a platform, popping a swimming pool in, and then surrounding it with bushes. And I don't know, it just really worked. I was like, you know what, I really like this. I actually would love to have a pool like this because it's very private as well, even from the rest of the house. Because of where I put all the bushes and the fences, it kind of makes it feel like you're fenced in. Yeah, I don't know, it's just really, really nice, really, really private. You just got all this extra greenery around you. It's like a dream pool, isn't it? Really, that's the only way I look at it. But you see what I mean, it's just, it feels very nice. The only windows that really look onto it on the ground floor are the kitchen and the laundry room. And let's be real, Sims aren't always there. They're usually going to be in the living room or the bedroom. And that's kind of what I end up with there. And I just thought, you know what, that's really nice. I do put a little barbecue out here. Feel free to delete that if your Sims decide to cook constantly, because I know mine do. I hate it, I just use it for show. But it's okay, I guess. I guess. And this bench, that's from Snowy Escape, and I really like it. I like the fact that it's got the fluffy rugs on them. I think it works really well and it's really nice. It's just really, really nice. Yeah, I love it. Again, I do just fill up with flowers, rocks, plants. There's got the swing set in as well. I thought if they're gonna have kids, they might need the kids to have an activity outside, so I use the dirt. I don't know, I think this is probably, like, landscaping wise, one of my favourite houses I've done. I just challenged myself. I was like, you know what, let's do something different. Let's really push the limits on this garden and make it interesting. Because usually I just put a slab of grass down, quick path to the swimming pool or the barbecue or whatever, and then I'll leave it at that and I move on. And it takes me no more than 2 minutes. And for this garden in total, like front and back, I probably spent about an hour. Like the same amount of time I spent on doing the actual outside and inside of the house together. Like, I just spent it all because I was like, I want it to be interesting. I don't want it to be bland and boring. I don't want people to be like, oh, here's another garden, a very boring one. I want people to look and go, wow, that's cool. I want to have a go at doing something like that. Or I mean, you might hate it and you might think it's ugly, but we're all entitled to wrong opinions. But yeah, I just really liked it, and I popped these little lights around. I thought that was a really cute idea, because they're not really bright lights and they kind of just fit everywhere. And then I think I got a feeling that might be it, you know. Yes, that's it. So here we go, guys. Here's some screenshots. So feel free to have a little look, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I'm really happy you did, because it's a very long video, and I shall see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed, and I shall see you soon. Bye.